first, and we go here. And we are live.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second episode of Tomb of Annihilation. Hopefully the planks look good. Volume is good. I'm peeking a little bit on my mic. And I'm going to turn down the background music a touch.
No.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay.
I think you have me and Miss Misery in the wrong slots.
Oh, yes, I do. What the heck? Okay.
That's it. I have a new name now.
You can't have my monk. It's mine.
We're gonna play like character swap and see how well everybody does playing each other.
Well, everybody got all mixed up.
Except for Cormorant.
They recognized my nobility and didn't want to mess with me.
$5 says it's Pavel's fault.
Paxton made sure to keep him in the right spot.
Oh yeah, Paxton, not Pavel. That's the other game.
Cormorant didn't have anything to do with it. It was all Paxton. Paxton is the real hero here.
Paxton, you
we'll reach
rogue.
the end of the campaign, whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, we're gonna start failing, and then all of a sudden Paxton will show up and like just...
or the other option, the twist ending option. Paxton's evil. The final boss the whole time.
I knew it.
I don't know. See, I can just picture Paxton just like leaping in and hero landing, and it's like just comes in and destroys everything and just saves us all.
Paxton, here's the bomb. Someone has to go set this off. Oh, what about that remote trigger? We don't want to trust it. Just run in there.
Sean, who is hero? I don't know what that means. Or Shiro?
Shiro's from Voltron.
Oh, man. I haven't watched Voltron since it was originally out, and I don't.
Oh, you should see the new one. It's really, really good. I'm super impressed with like a ton of the people who work on that show.
Do I follow anyone who worked on that? I don't remember. I follow so many artists that it's hard to remember. I think I follow someone who works on the new Thundercats, though.
Oh, nice. I was really hoping that was the show I was signing on for, because I wasn't told about the show. I was just told about the job, and it sadly wasn't. I'm like, damn it.
Sean says Shiro and Keith forever. Apparently, Sean ships people, and I respect him a little less for it.
Shiro
Their ship name is called Sheath.
Well, are they two male characters? Because that takes on an entirely different meaning.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Super dirty.
I mean, isn't that what ships are for, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe hey, we're playing D&D, if I remember correctly, not talking about ships.
I don't know, people could be shipping us already. We were on a ship.
We were on a ship. We are shipping.
We're on a ship. We are shipping.
I am opening.
We didn't let our ship die either.
Oh, my nameplate's wrong. It's Miss Misery _. Add an underscore to what's there. Other than that is perfect. Sorry.
Okay, I will have to fix that. I'm not going to fix that now. So
I just noticed, sorry.
Go ahead, do introductions around the... We'll start with Cormorant.
Sounds good. I'm Devin, or Utilitas. You can find me here on Twitch and the Castlemach Discord as one of the mods. And then my Twitter is Arcadevin. I tweet rarely and mostly hilarious things, so you should definitely follow me. I am playing Cormorant White Scale, a noble out of Neverwinter, who's coming down to Chult to figure some stuff out.
Okay. I'm Abby, Nascasia Dio across the internet. I don't really post anything or do anything, so you don't gotta bother with that. But I'm playing Jilsta, an Oni tiefling who is an explorer and is just on the trip for some exploring, currently in the employ of Cormorant.
And how about let's go to Hannah next.
Hey, I'm Ink. I'm playing Hannah. She is a drow wizard who is why is my brain flaking on her? She's currently working for the Church of Mystera as a inquisitor. If you want to know more about me and not Hannah, look up Ink Betweens on the internet. I'm on social media and I work in animation.
And Quiet Quill.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shanalogic across all of the internets, and I'm playing Quiet Quill, the Tabaxi monk who works with the sect of Ogma to gather information. And I guess now he's going to be working with Cormorant and probably messing with Paxton along the way.
And last but not least, Gallowglass.
Hi, I am Miss Misery just about everywhere. Twitter is Miss Misery _ Misery _ Misery, sorry. And I'm playing Gallowglass. She's a human cleric of Kalimvor. She's was able to take the current crisis and speak to her people at the local temple in Waterdeep, and she's been able to be sent to Chult for a fresh start, hopefully.
Okay, and I am Stump. Sorry.
Just Stump.
Just Stump. Stump-o-matic. Stump _ Matic on most places. And we are playing Tomb of Annihilation. Should be able to type ! Summary in chat and get a summary of the game. But mostly it was pretty simple. They got on a ship, set sail for Port Nyan Zaru. They did some gambling of character background information, and then they were attacked by pirates. They whooped up on the pirates. Everybody was happy, and we ended sailing into Port Nyan Zaru.
Oh, and just before we start, gotta throw an awesome shout out to Anna Fitzpatrick at Black Moth Eyes on Twitter for doing our amazing new character art. It's fantastic, and I couldn't be happier about it.
That is
That's
a
great.
thank you for reminding me. On top of that, we thank all the Castle Mac people for letting us do this. The background music is from the Bandcamp site that you find down below. Castle Andrew, I believe, is the one who does the music. I'm trying to remember anything else that I'm supposed to say, because these guys are really great and let us play on their channel. But I can't think of anything. So, coming into Port Nyan Zaru. Arrival. As you pull into port, the familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones, mingled with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language, filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices, tropical fruit, and cooking meat floats out across the water, along with the smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Past the wharf and the port, you see the city itself, and it's an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of green, blue, orange, salmon, pink, or their walls are adored with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers, or it is draped in leafy, flowering vines. Minstrels stroll the streets adorned with feathers and shells, performing with lutes, and you see quite a few tabaxi. The minstrels are tabaxi. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. Children dressed in feathered hats and capes race along the dock, squealing with delighted terror as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing.
I think I'm gonna be right up at the prow of the boat, just taking in all this the sights, and Paxton is gonna be standing just off to my side, looking decidedly less excited.
Okay.
Gallowglass is absolutely in love with all the new sights and sounds. She's never really seen anything like this, so she's just taking it all in. She's just...
Juetsna is gonna be drawing a map and a general picture of the area and the town. Very excited that she can finally break out the colored pencils.
Not crayons.
Never crayons, they melt in the sun.
Okay, you notice as you're sailing into the port that Captain Great Rock looks a little nervous, but she relaxes as she gets through the entryway and gets into the port itself. And you hear her mumble something about, "I'll get to keep it this time." And you pull into port, the dock, the ship is secured, and thank you, Castlemac Lydia, for 200 bits.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you.
Yes, sweetie.
And the captain approaches you and says, "Oh, thanks for the help with the pirates. We really appreciate it. Do you know where you're going? I can introduce you to the harbor master. He's a good fellow who will be able to help you find your way around the city if you need me to."
Yes, that would be quite amenable to me. I know the name of who I'm trying to meet, but I don't know where he's located in the city, and any assistance would be much appreciated.
Okay. So you depart the ship, and he takes you down the wharf to a small building with the word Harbor Master printed over the sign. And outside is a rating. You see what looks like could almost be mistaken for a dragonborn, but he has a few more dragon features than a typical dragonborn. He is gold, and he is directing several different people to do this and do that. You know, the bustling of a busy port. And as Captain Breakwater approaches, he smiles and says, "Ah, Hegeros, good to see you. Welcome once again to the wonderful city of Port Nyanzaru. I hope your trip was uneventful," at which point the captain gives a small summary of the fight against the pirates, which the portmaster, who Captain Great Rock introduced as Zindar, the harbor master, grumbles and says, "Oh, the sturge. One of three that has been particularly troublesome lately." And Captain Great Rock then says, "Yes, and these five here were very helpful in driving them off," which Zindar picks up and says, "Oh, well, welcome to Port Nyanzaru. I am Zindar. I am the harbor master and quite familiar with the city."
Cormorant gives a small bow and he goes, "Well met, Master Zendar. I am Cormorant Whitescale of the noble Whitescale family of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast. It is a pleasure to be in such a fine city."
He will raise an eyebrow and he mentions one of your brothers. "Yes, I believe Zachary Whitescale."
Yeah, maybe we should have come up with my brother's names. It's fine.
Hans.
I met him 3 years ago, which happens to... Pleased to meet you, Cormorant. Your brother was I quite enjoyed his company.
Yes, they are all quite fine gentlemen. I hope I live up to his expectation.
It sounds as if you have. Made a good start.
Zindar speaks Draconic, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like to stick out my hand for a firm handshake and in Draconic say, "Hello. I love, nice to meet you, and I love what you have going on right here." And she gestures to his face, his entire body. "I'm loving it. We gotta stick together, us weirdos."
Well, pleasure to meet you, Yotsna. And I, too, love what you have going on here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. He looks at the rest of you. Well, would you like some recommendations for where to stay in town, or?
No, I'm here to meet, one second, I gotta look up his name again. I'm here to see Bernard Regalmore and my associates here, and I point to the four of them, and I go, "Will be staying with me. So if you could provide a guide or perhaps yourself to take us to his estate, that would be much appreciated."
Master Regalmore, yes, I believe today is indeed the dinosaur races, so he will be down at the dinosaur races to...
Did you just say dinosaur races?
Yes, and Master Regalmore is is very fond of the game of chance and the thrill that comes with betting upon the races.
Yes, my father did say he was something of a gambler, but I just assumed he meant cards or, typical things. Dinosaur racing. Fascinating.
Dinosaurs.
Racing and gambling, you say? Could you point us in that direction?
Yes, and he will motion one of the local youths who are hanging about over and say, Fredrickson, could you please escort these fine people down to the races? They are looking for Master Regalmore. You should be able to find him in the VIP tents. Which the kid nods, yeah, sure, yep. And he will lead you down into the city proper. Which I will pop over so you can look on screen. No. Never mind. It just showed the Roll20. So by next game, hopefully I will have figured out how to show maps and stuff. So he will lead you into the city, and again, bustling. It is very warm, say, 90 degrees plus Fahrenheit for people in Celsius area. Sorry, I don't know how to convert. Humidity,
like a 32 Celsius.
30 degree or 90% humidity in the jungle. It is just hot and oppressive. And the smell of that many people and crowded together and that kind of heat and humidity lends a rather interesting odor to the city, which is fought off by just the scent of interesting spices and unique and exotic spices and scents of the spices on meat as it's grilling wafts from homes onto the street. As you make your way through the streets, and eventually you come where the streets have been roped off, and on the buildings beside where it's roped off, there's pavilions set up on the roofs, and crowds are gathered, and then there's even more people packed along the streets between the buildings and the roped off sections of the street. And you are taken up to the top of one of the roofs or up on top of one of the buildings, and the young man says, "Oh, there he is." And you see a large man, sweating profusely, fanning himself, thinning, graying hair, sitting there or standing, talking, excited. And the young man goes up and says, "Master Regalmore, these fine people, the harbor master instructed me to lead them to you." And he turns and he sees you, Cormorant, and says, "Ah, yes, a white scale. Is that right?"
White scale.
A white scale. I'd recognize one of you anywhere. Welcome. And he reaches out to shake your hand.
I return the gesture in kind and give a slight bow and go, nice to meet you, Master Regalmore. My father has told me much about you.
Ah, yes, the good times we had as children, causing trouble, chasing lasses, fights, drinking.
I'm kind of taken aback by that part of it. Like, that's not the kind of person I know my father to be, so it's sort of a okay. When I turn to Paxton, I go, Paxton, the letter of introduction, and he hands it over to me, and I hand it to him.
He will take a moment to peruse it, and he looks up and says, okay, yes, but we will discuss all of this evening. Of course, you have any assistance I can provide, but first, the races.
Yes, dinosaur races.
Yes, it's a marvelous thing.
Interesting. I suppose I should introduce you to these four. These are my associates. I met them on the ship here to Port Nyanzaru. This is Giotsna, and I point to the tall, feral looking tiefling. I point to the one who's sort of standing in the back, hood down. This is Hannah Amunet, if I remember correctly. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Gallow Glass in the fancy armor with the big shield.
Sir.
And then the large cat creature goes by Quiet Quill.
Quill for short. And I go to shake his hand. Does this fancy guy we're talking to have a lot of fancy rings on his fingers?
He does indeed.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to swipe one as I shake his hand.
Okay, give me a roll.
What am I rolling?
Give me a sleight of hand.
All right. Oh.
Is that good or bad?
It's 21.
Yes.
Ring slides up. Like I said, it is hot and he is sweating, and it just slides off and he does not seem to notice.
Excellent. A new one for the collection.
It's the kind of gestures Quiet Crow over to her, like, bro, come here. Show me what you got.
What kind of ring is it?
It will be a gold ring with some small stones set in it. It's just it's a basic ring. Just looking at it, you would guess it's worth about 90 gold. It has inscribed around it it has inscribed about it quite a few, like little mosquitoes and gnats and small bugs cover it, are inscribed into it.
Fancy.
I didn't notice that, did I?
Give me a... What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13, so probably not.
Probably not. Okay. He will turn to you and say, "This is a big race. This is the Unchained race. Who do you guys like?"
We've just arrived. I do not even know who the contestants are.
Yeah.
Always the underdog, obviously.
Okay, well, That would be, the underdog would be Mountain Thunder. He's a Demetron, and he's getting quite old. Or the Jungle Princess. Dionicus. Who's really young. And I'm not a fan of her jockey.
Which one's the biggest, loudest one?
No, well, that would be Big Honker. He's a T-Rex. A young T-Rex. The fans love him, and he is loud. His jockey is boisterous.
My money's on that one.
Are there any in blue?
Yes. When you ask about blue, he says, "Oh, that would be Bone Cruncher, an Allosaurus. His jockey is colored. Silks are blue, and he has blue silks and
that's the one.
trappings." So, Big Honker, his odds are 7-1. Jungle Princess is 1-5. Oh. Well, he looks at you, Cormorant, and says, "Well, I'm going to place a bet of 100 gold here. What do you think? Who should I put it on?"
Well, I'm not much of a betting man. I played my first game of chance on the boat, and that was just for stories. So I'd say go with a safe option.
Big Honker it is.
I'd like to place a bet on Jungle Princess.
Okay.
I'm gonna place a bet on the blue one. It's only gonna be about 5 silver, if possible.
Okay, yep. So you put yours on Bone Cruncher.
Is he also our bookie?
No, there's guys who are coming around.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'll
gonna
put a.
place.
Oh, go ahead.
Right. No, go on. I'm still thinking.
Anna puts a gold down on the hard win.
Which would be, who's the hard win? Is that, I'm unfamiliar with betting completely. You're muted.
That's just the
Right, just the underdog. I
Okay.
can't remember the name.
Mountain Thunder.
That one.
I'm gonna put a gold down on every single one of them, so I win no matter what.
Okay. Gold.
Good.
And that is Hannah. And Yotsna, who did you bet on?
Jungle Princess for 10 gold pieces.
Jungle Princess. 10 gold. Yotsna. 1, 2, 3. And Quill bet on all. One gold. Are you going to place a bet, Cormorant, or no?
No, I'll abstain.
Okay. And the race is about to start. We shall all. So, Cormorant, you get to play, you get to roll for Big Honker.
Sounds good.
Big Honker. His jockey He's a T-Rex. I just saw it. Tyrannosaurus. Check. KDC equals 18. His animal handling is +4. Bone Cruncher will be Gallow Glass. And he is a Allosaurus. And his animal or her animal handling is +3. And we have Mountain Thunder. C equals Dimetron. The jockey's animal handling is +5.
+5.
They are an old pair. Jungle Princess. The roll can be done by Yotsna. She is a jockey. Her animal handling is a +3. And Crunch. Grung Stomper. 2, 3, 4. Quill, I will have you roll for Grung Stomper.
All right.
He is an Ankylosaurus. Yeah, his jockey has a +3 to her roll. And I will roll for Scarback.
I gotta say, with all these dinosaur names popping up, my little Jurassic Park obsessed heart is swelling.
Well, gambling finds a way.
Ooh, her jockey sucks.
Just terrible.
Just the worst.
Doesn't even know what end of the dinosaur it goes going forward.
Okay, so the rules for how this will work, the race, is I have the speed, which I should write down. DC 18. Bone Crusher. Oh, I should have Bone Crusher. Allosaurus. Mountain Thunder. Dimetron. 50. Jungle Princess. 40/60. Rogue Stomper. Saurus. And Scarback. Okay. Each round, we will all roll and add our jockey's animal handling. I have the DCs for each of the dinosaurs. Big Honker's animal handling DC is 18, Bone Crusher's is 16, Mountain Thunder's is 8, Jungle Princess is 12, Grung Stomper is 16, Scarback is 14. So if you make your check, then your dinosaur moves its movement rate. 50 feet for, you can then choose to do one of three things. You can flog your dinosaur, have it go faster. If you flog your dinosaur, you have advantage on your animal handling roll. You can attempt to block another dinosaur, to impede another dinosaur, which you will roll your dinosaur's attack modifier against their AC. So you will use your animal handling plus your attack modifier. I'm not going to, and I have ACs for all the dinosaurs. If you succeed, then that dinosaur moves at half its rate.
Ouch.
Or you can attack. You can, as a rider, you can have your dinosaur attack another dinosaur and cause it physical damage. And I have the hit points for all the dinosaurs. If you have your dinosaur attack another dinosaur, all your rolls are made at disadvantage. Everybody got it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so round one. First of all, say what you are going to be doing. Are you going to be going for speed, trying to block another dinosaur, or attacking another dinosaur? I am going for speed.
I
Same.
will also go for speed.
Me too.
Okay.
Go for speed.
So everybody's just going for speed.
All for speed.
18. Woohoo, I made it. Okay. So it starts out on a wide alley. You're moving forward. This round, we're not going to get into getting the space constricting, the track getting narrower. So, Big Honker, what did you get on your animal handling check?
Is that me?
Yes.
I rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Same.
So you move 100 feet. And you have advantage on your next roll.
Hell yeah.
And Bone Crusher, which is
Let's see. 12.
12. Okay, so you move out to 50 feet. Bone Crusher, Mountain Thunder, Jungle Princess, Grung Stomper, Scarback. Okay, so you went to 50. Mountain Thunder.
Mountain Thunder is a nat 20 plus 5.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you also get advantage on your next roll, and you move to 50 feet as well.
That's my boy.
Jungle Princess,
19.
19. You go out strong and move to 60 feet. And Grung Stomper,
8.
8.
It's a little ankylosaur. What do you want?
That's right. So you move out to 50 feet, and Scarback got a 4. So he moves to 25 feet. And you notice Scarback starts roaring. I rolled really bad for his rider. He starts roaring and he gets close to the ropes and the crowd that's crammed between the ropes and they push back but nothing happens on the first one. Okay, second round. What is everybody going to be trying to do?
Log.
Trying to catch up.
Yeah,
Straight up speed.
I'm going for speed
Go
again.
fast.
Okay,
Gotta go fast.
Sonic.
everybody go ahead and roll.
Oh.
And Big Honker.
I rolled a 14 plus 4, so 18.
18, okay. You move out to 150
We had
feet.
advantage on that one, right?
Oh, wait, yeah. 1 second. Let me. Nat 20.
Oh!
Yeah!
Okay, so Big
That's
Honker.
why you always take your advantage.
Always take your advantage. Big Honker is just sprinting away. He is 200 feet out. Bone Crusher.
Seven.
Okay. So Bone Crusher is about half distance. I mean, he's 100 yards behind, 100 feet behind Big Honker at this time. Mountain
He's building up
Thunder,
his momentum.
Mountain Thunder is 22.
22. So you again. 5. You are at 100 as well. You are even with Bone Crusher. And even though the jockey is doing everything correctly, this dinosaur just doesn't have the speed of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Jungle Princess.
18.
18. So she is moving. The Jungle Princess is about 80 feet behind Big Honker, but you are ahead of Bone Crusher and Mountain Thunder and Grung Stomper.
I'd like to flog as well for that, for my
Okay.
next turn.
Okay,
I got a natural 20 plus 3, so
Yeah!
23.
Oh, so many nat 20s.
80.
We're
Okay.
using them all up now. When it comes to saving throws, we're just gonna die.
No, it's gonna happen the minute someone tries to protect Paxton. All our natural fail.
Okay, so remember, if with the nat 20, you get a advantage on the next roll, and Scarback made it, so he moves. So right now, there's 6 racers. Big Honker is out at 200 feet. Next up is Grung Stomper at 130 feet. Then Jungle Princess at 120 feet. Then Bone Crusher and Mountain Thunder at 100 feet. And bringing up the rear is Scarback at 75 feet. Now this, at 250 feet, the course narrows. If you keep going full speed, you're going to have there's a negative I will apply to I will increase the difficulty of this check as you try to control going into this narrowing, and you see it starting to turn up ahead. So, what is everybody's plan this turn?
Speed. I'm reckless.
Okay, Big Honker.
Speed again for me.
I'm too excited about getting so far ahead. He's getting.
I'm gonna pace myself. I'm gonna just kind of like build up and flog for this turn.
Okay.
Also speed.
Yeah, same. I gotta catch up to all you long legs.
All right. So everybody go ahead and roll. And Big Honker.
So not a nat 20, but a good roll. Is an 18 plus 4, so 22.
Okay. You go into the Narrows, and Big Honker, he acts up a little bit, but the jockey is able to control him down, but he doesn't move that full. He moves. What? Okay. He moves at 50 feet, so he's at 250. And Bone Crusher.
I rolled a 19.
A 19. You were just going for speed.
Yep.
Okay, so you get another 80. 180. Mountain Thunder.
15.
15. 150. And Jungle Princess.
Nat 20.
Woo!
No! Stop using
Woo!
Okay.
They're going to disappear when we need them.
And Grung Stomper.
That is 18.
18. Scarback. Oh, it's really lagging behind. One. Okay. So at the end of round 3, Big Honker is still out in front at 250 feet. He is in the narrow gap, and you see it curving around in front of you. Next is Grung Stomper has overtaken and is in second place now at 210 feet, 40 feet behind Big Honker. Next is Jungle Princess and Bone Crusher at 180 feet. Mountain Thunder is at 150 feet. And then bringing up the rear is Scarback at 130 feet.
Poor Scarback. He's so slow.
He is.
What is Scarback?
He is an old Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Starback's just antisocial. He's just trying to stay away from everybody.
He's a real introvert. He's not.
Yeah. He's not really into group activities, but like his younger brother couldn't play if he didn't, so.
Okay, so any changes in plans?
No.
Still going for speed.
Full speed ahead.
Okay.
Full speed.
Speed.
Scarback's rider is going to attempt, or Scarback is going to, I don't like this mechanic because they're not, he's 130 feet away, or he's 20 feet away from the closest.
Just give them all laser eyes and they can just.
All right.
Dinosaurs.
Well, he's
Dinosaur laser fight.
just going to try to catch up. He's going to try to catch up. Okay, everybody roll again.
MSP.
Okay. Little legs, don't fail me now.
Oh, I rolled on my keyboard.
Oh, that was
Nice. Okay, I can live with that. That won't be too bad.
Okay, Big Honker.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
So unnatural.
12. Oh, sorry.
18, 22. 22, but it was within 5, so. Okay, as you're getting into the really narrow and the crowds are getting close and the noise that rises up, and you can, Big Honker is getting, he isn't liking all this activity around him, and the jockey has a hard time controlling him, but he keeps him under control. But again, he only moves he doesn't get that speed he was, so he moves out to 300 feet. And Bone Crusher.
I got a 12.
12. Okay. As Bone Crusher comes into the narrow and all that noise, he too is having difficulty. He's getting agitated by all this noise. Give me another animal handling check.
12.
And his tail slaps out and
Tiring that dice.
wipes, swings through the crowd on one side, knocking several people away. But he moves 50 feet. So he's at 230. Mountain Thunder.
Sorry, getting myself. Mount Thunder with the advantage is a 19.
19. 50. And Jungle Princess.
21.
21.
21.
60. 40. And Grung Stomper.
21.
And okay, the two big movers this time were Mountain Thunder and Scarback. At the end of round 3 of Big Honker still in the lead at 300 feet. Next, Mountain Thunder at 250 feet. Then, oh no, I'm sorry. Grung Stomper at 290 feet is just 10 feet. And then 250 feet is Mountain Thunder. 240 feet is Jungle Princess. And Bone Crusher and Scarback are both at 230 feet. What's everybody's plan this round?
Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Engage.
Same, all speed.
Okay, Scarback is going to have his dinosaur attack Bone Crusher. So, go ahead and roll.
Guys, I got another one.
What?
I got another net 20.
20.
Oh my god.
That's 3. Oh my god. I've literally never rolled this many nat 20s in all my time playing D&D, and I've succeeded it in 10 minutes.
Okay,
That's
so
one fast dino.
you go hauling ass out around the curve, and then you see it does an S curve and continues in the original direction. And you make it through the curves and you see it opening up for the final 200 feet of the race to the finish line. Bone Crusher.
16.
16. So you move 80 feet. That is 3, 10, 320. And Mountain Thunder.
13.
13. So you move.
Not Mount Thunder's best.
Fortunately, he's pretty easy to control. Jungle Princess.
19.
19. 16. Grung Stomper.
21.
21.
And Scarback misses horribly as he attempts to bite at, I rolled a natural 1, as he attempted to bite Bone Crusher. And the dinosaur roars in anger and tries to throw off the rider and chomps a couple spectators as he's running through.
Oh no.
Angry dino.
And at the end of round 4, Big Honker, the favorite, is still in the lead at 400 feet, 200 feet to go. Next up is Grung Stomper, hanging close at 390 feet. And then Bone Crusher is at 320. Mountain Thunder and Jungle Princess are at 300, and Scarback is at 280. Any change in?
No.
Gotta be
And I
speed
get,
at this
again.
point.
I get to roll with advantage, right?
Okay, yep.
Frick.
Full speed ahead, and I'm breaking out the big dice.
Oh,
The dino dice for some dinosaur rolls. Oh my god!
no.
Nat
No.
20!
No.
Oh.
Okay, Big Honker.
That's all the nat 20s for the entire campaign. You realize? That's it. We're done with them. We won't get any more. I rolled an 18 plus 4, so 22.
22. Okay. And Bone Crusher.
21.
21.
Finally got a good roll.
80. 100. Mountain Thunder.
Only a 10 this time.
And Jungle Princess.
18.
And Grung Stomper.
23.
23.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop. Got a little Ankylosaur go. I'm so proud of the tiny stubby legs.
All I'm imagining is
Okay, so at the end of round 4, Big Honker and Grung Stomper are neck and neck at 500 feet, 100 feet to the finish line. Then Bone Crusher's at 400, Mountain Thunder or Jungle Princess at 360, Mountain Thunder at 350, and Scarback at 320. Possibly the final round as you're 100 feet from the finish.
All right, big dice, full speed.
Any changes?
No.
Okay.
Oh, man. And
Too much
Shannon
ground to catch up.
advantage
It
and-
has to be fast. Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Okay, Big Honker.
17 plus 4, so 21.
So 21. We'll put you at 550. Bone Crusher.
17 total.
17 total. Put you at 80. Mountain Thunder.
That is a 9.
A 9. Okay, is
Oh no.
390. If I can get another animal handling check from you and Jungle Princess.
She just dropped.
Yeah,
off
we
right
just
now.
lost.
Not sure what's
Oh.
happening there.
Yes. Okay, we
But I
will.
wanna just roll for her.
Yep. And Grung Stomper.
22.
22.
That little old dinosaur found his second wind.
He's just
Pure,
biding his time.
pure stubby rage.
I can't attack her, can I?
Yes, you can.
You bastard, don't you
Oh,
dare!
I'm so attacking you. I want to win. I don't want this tiny little thing screwing up my groove.
Okay, so at the end of this round, we have a new leader. Grung Stomper is at 580 feet, 20 feet short of the finish line.
Ugh.
Big Honker is at 550. Scarback and Bone Crusher are at 380 or 480. Jungle Princess is at 400. And Mountain Thunder is at 390. So, yes, you can either try to get in front of her and slow her down, or you can have your dinosaur attack her dinosaur.
Attack.
Okay, so you are attacking, which puts you at disadvantage on your dice rolls. And everybody else just going for speed?
I'm gonna try and move in front of Big Honker. I'm gonna try and shove him.
Okay, so you're going to try to... Okay, and that is... Which one are you?
I am Grunge Stomper, I think.
Grunge Stomper. Okay, so...
Yeah, she's the one who's basically right at the finish line, right in front of me.
Okay.
When I'm attacking.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. And Big Honker, what did you get?
Unnatural 20. 16 plus 4.
16 plus 4. Which your DC is 18. Okay, so... Well, actually, if you have a young T-Rex, just plus 6, so you got a 22. And you are attacking Grunge Stomper, who is an Ankylosaurus. His AC is 13. And the T-Rex does roll a d12 for damage.
Twelve.
12. 12.
Yay.
Hey, you're back.
Welcome back.
12 plus 3, so 15 points of damage. Okay, so Big Honker reaches out and takes a huge bite, about half of her hit points worth of damage from Grung Stomper as they go past the finish line. Grung Stomper, what did you get?
I got a natural 20.
Oh my god.
So 23.
Okay, so actually you
How
still...
many nat 20s is that? 7? 7 during a freaking
75.
dinosaur race? No meaning to
75.
the campaign. Ah.
Grung Stomper...
The tiny rage is on my side.
30.
Maybe like
And
just pumping.
Bone Crusher,
I got a 12.
12.
I'm rolling a lot of 9s tonight.
16,
9.
50, 30. Mountain Thunder,
Ink, you're muted.
That's a 21.
okay. Just a second. Close that. Put all of the, yep. 21, 50. And Jungle Princess,
17.
okay. And the race finishes as the two dinosaurs up front get into a bit of a combat, but Grung Stomper takes the flag.
Yes. Suck it, Big Honker. Suck it.
Which means Grung Stomper... Everybody loses their bet, except for Grung Stomper.
Except for me, because I didn't.
The Grung Stomper was an even bet, so you There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one Quill bet on all of them, so she spent. You spent 6 gold and you won 2 gold back, so you're down 4 gold
All right.
total at the end.
I paid for the experience.
And the 7 nat 20s.
Oh my god. Like, I can't even.
So many.
I can't even with that.
And again, you know that like there's not going to be a single another nat 20 at this point. We're done.
No, we're
Yeah,
doing
right.
We are all out. That's it. That's all we get.
Yep. And Stump, we're gonna have to switch around the nameplates now.
Okay. So, Quiet Quill goes. There. And yellow glass.
Arctic Nerd? What the hell, dude? That's gonna
Holy.
divine rerolls from Arctic Nerd. 1,001 bits.
Woo! Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Arctic.
hot damn.
I'll give you a hug later. Oh my.
Yep.
That's some crazy shit right there.
And then Hannah.
Yay.
Where did Hannah go? Oh, there she is. It's up there. And so we got 2 rerolls. Yes. Okay.
I would try to outdo him, but I only have 1 bit to my name.
I have 0 bits and negative $42 in my bank account, so I ain't buying any right now.
Yikes.
Okay. So we got 2 rerolls. Don't forget, all of you guys get inspiration as well that you can hand out.
Oh yeah. Right.
That's right. I'm giving it to Shannon because just that dinosaur just not giving up.
Just imagine like a dachshund or a corgi running at full speed.
That's what I was picturing. Just like a little blur of legs.
But like at the end, it's like one of those lizards, so it's just like a corgi on its hind legs, just picking up to get that last bit of speed.
Okay, so Shannon has inspiration.
I'm definitely not salty about losing that race at all. Nope.
Okay.
When I left, Shannon was like 3rd or something. When I came back, she was in 1st.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it anymore, I think.
Yeah. We're
What a
going to talk
crazy
about it all night. I won.
Crazy 5 minutes.
Let's be serious. The only people that really won are the people who own the track.
House always wins.
Yep.
Okay. How about we take a short break and we will come back and
Yeah, I need to cool down after my stupid loss.
okay, we will be back in 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I do not have a timer yet, but 10 minutes we'll be back.
We forgive you, Stump. Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
I will be back in a few.
I'll never get used to that consistency.
Mm-mm.
That would be a hell of a thing for the audio to have just turned on for them to hear.
Yeah.
Talking about rooster testicles.
I don't know what's weirder, the testicles or the heart.
I'd say the
testicles.
testicles.
A lot of people.
I hope that it came back on that.
But I've never
chicken
heard
livers are
about
pretty
any
common where I'm from.
rooster testicles. Ugh.
Livers and hearts, I don't know why.
Cool.
Hello.
There's a thing
Hi,
for you,
people.
buddy. Welcome back.
Ink, that's not cool. I'm mad about that. I'm mad about that drawing.
He gave him a trucker hat. Come on.
The trucker hat is a nice touch. Today, this has been an interesting D&D session. I'll tell you what.
This has been the best. That's now my computer background. I'm so happy.
A little ankylosaurus beating a trucker hat wearing Tyrannosaurus.
Just a regular day.
I mean, it's Chult. You never know what's going to happen.
When in Chult.
Oh, there it is.
Also, hello, viewers. We're back. And don't mind the talk of rooster testicles and whatnot.
I don't think they heard that bit.
Well, now they did.
Didn't even buy us dinner.
No, he bought us dinosaur races. What do you
No, we bought us dinosaur races. I lost the gold.
I won feelings and experiences, even though I'm technically in the red.
I came out of it fine. If not a little confused as to why the tiny-legged dinosaur beat a Tyrannosaurus.
Get over it, my bro.
Oh, Cormorant immediately accepts his offer of a shower. He's never felt this gross in his entire life.
I'm gonna keep everything. I like my natural stink.
Is there food here? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
Gallo's definitely going to have a good shower.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Grimy gear.
skip this one because, don't need to shower every day.
Cormorant immediately heads
Sorry.
off to the showers and preps and just throws his stuff to Paxton. Not like meanly, just like nonchalantly, because that's what he does.
So I was muted on the stream.
Ah,
We Regal Moore invited the party back to his place, and as they entered, he invited them to take a shower. He sent in servants to collect any clothing they wished to have washed, and he promised them a meal after the showers. So he goes off to shower. There's perfumes, scents. The water is cool, but not cold. On the assumption you're not going to want to take a hot shower when it is so dreadful outside.
That's a fair assumption.
Does anybody want to do anything?
Hourglass has never seen this kind of luxury before, so she is enjoying herself while being an awkward little turtle, but just trying to.
And on the other hand, Cormorant's like, oh, it's okay. He's not impressed, but he appreciates the offer of the shower.
Hannah takes a shower, but she keeps her gear and just uses prestidigitation to clean it, and then also to make the shower colder.
Okay.
I guess.
She'll also summon her ferret and hide him in her hood again.
Okay.
While everyone's showering, Quiet Quill looks around for a library or some place that has books in this house.
One of the servants will lead you to the library.
Awesome. Are there any books on, say, the deities like Ogma?
Yes. Yes, you find a book on the religions of Chult.
All right, I'm going to try and steal the book. Let's see how this is gonna go.
You're gonna get us killed.
Yeah. I should have played a rogue, but I said nah.
Oh, man.
So
I'll just be a kleptomaniac.
So sleight of hand.
Quiet Quill is that character.
Yep, go ahead, give me a sleight of hand.
Let's see, that's gonna
But is
be.
Quiet Quill doing it for attention? That's the question.
That's gonna be a 19.
Okay, as you are alone in the library, you have no problem.
I'm so glad I was able to sneak this book out of a room where no one could see it happen.
After everybody showers, with the exception of Quiet Quill, you are led to the dining room. There is a feast laid out. Mostly it's light fare, so you got like fruits, cut up fruits, water, chilled wine, and then there's like light sandwiches. And Regal Moore is showered, dressed in flowing robes. He is perfumed heavily. And he says, yeah, sit down and eat, and we can discuss the curse.
Hey, Stump.
Yes.
It looks like some nameplates are wrong.
Again.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Why am I the only one who never flips around on those?
Too dependable.
Because Paxton keeps everything in order.
Exactly.
That's right.
He's such a good boy. He's too good for us. I graciously take my seat, offer a small plate to Paxton because he's looking a little peckish, and then dig in.
Oh, you are too kind, my lord. Too kind indeed.
Yeah, I'm shoveling finger sandwiches in my mouth like at a disturbing pace.
I'm gonna match that eating contest.
Gallows watching Cormorant and Lord just kind of copying what they're doing because she's not used to things this nice either, so she's just trying to not stand out.
Okay. So, as you are eating and making small talk at this point, Regal Moore will say it is the custom here in Port Nyanzaru to offer guests at the very least a few moments to wash and perfumes as the heat and humidity makes it so everybody sweats and everybody stinks all the time. And he gives a sideways glance to Quiet Quill.
Just smile and wave.
I kind of notice the sideways glance and under my breath mutter a few words, and my hand glows, and a light sparkle of light flows over Quiet Quill as I cast Prestidigitation and clean her. Sorry, is Quiet Quill a boy or a girl? I don't know.
Quiet Quill's a dude.
Okay, yeah, so Quiet Quill is now clean.
Okay.
And then I do it again and make them smell like flowers.
So Quiet Quill now has a pleasant aroma of floral bouquet.
Do you get all fluffy when you're clean?
I hope so.
Oh, I hope so. Instead of like my hair tied, there's like a bow in my hair.
Roll for fluffiness.
11 fluffy.
Oh, and can I try to resist the fluff?
No.
It's a 2 anyway, so.
No save DC.
After you are done eating, Regalmore will look at you and say, so what do you know of this curse? The death curse, as they are calling it.
Very little, unfortunately. My benefactor informed me that it was occurring. He showed me something of a vision of a dark form rising. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it seemed important enough that I should head here and investigate. And these fine people are here for their own reasons, but some of which align with mine, and I've decided to help me out, at least for the time being.
Okay, so the death curse is something that has just started. We noticed it here first, and what happens is, as people pass away, their souls are not going to their final resting place. They are getting hijacked, kidnapped along the way. And unfortunately, we do not have a temple of Kelvilmore here in Port Nyanzaru. So but something or someone is kidnapping these souls. And the worst part is, if that isn't bad enough, those of us who have been resurrected or have died in our earlier adventuring days and had fortunate enough to have friends who were willing to spend the cash to bring us back, it's reversing. They are getting sick and dying.
That's interesting.
So
This is terrible. This goes against everything natural. People can be resurrected as needed, but this is just it's just so wrong. This is why I'm here. This is why I was sent here to look into this, and this is why so many of our clerics have come, and our paladins. This just needs to stop. This is wrong. This is wrong down to the core.
indeed.
Is this some sort of necromancy, or?
Hannah pulls out a notebook and starts writing in it.
We assume that it is necromantic in nature, but we do not know for sure. We assumed it was it's something happening in the jungles of Chult, as we were the first affected. But recently, reports of being cases or of it happening as far away as Waterdeep, up the Sword Coast, and into Coromir. How do you ever you say the nation to the east of the? It is spread across the known world. The Harpers, looking into it, have decided and drawn the conclusion that it is indeed something happening here in Chult.
About how long ago has this started? Or at least that you noticed it here.
We had the first reports, noticing it started about 6 months ago.
And around that time, were there any interesting characters or incidents that may not be associated but were a big deal?
No. However, this is Port Nyanzaru. There is always interesting and unique visitors here in Port Nyanzaru. Right now, for instance, Volo is visiting.
Volo, like the man who writes about monsters?
Yes.
I've heard of him. He's an interesting fellow indeed.
So it's if somebody came through, well, probably in the last year, reports of Rasnisi being spotted again are surfacing. And for those of you who do not know, Rasnisi was a paladin of Ogma, Ogma being the once primary god deity here of Chult, but anyway, Rasnisi, a paladin, fell, and he stepped away, became a necromancer, raised this large undead army, and tried to conquer Chult. And it is the remnants and the aftermath of that army that infest the jungle. If you guys travel out into the jungles of Chult, you are sure to encounter these remnants of his army. And it was thought that Rasnisi was defeated and killed. But there has been sightings within the last year of someone of Rasnisi, although he now appears as his upper body, but as a Yanti, with the lower body of a snake.
Interesting.
Some foul magic, I'm sure.
Far worse than I thought it would be.
And he was indeed a very powerful necromancer.
Well, if there's sightings, and it sounds like there has been, especially since he's somehow turned himself into some abomination, it would lead me to believe that that's likely the first step in finding him, seeing if he's the culprit.
Even if he's not, it's a problem that should be dealt with.
Precisely.
Oh, certainly.
I do have a question about the curse, though.
Yes.
Is it only affecting people or also animals?
It is. We know for sure it is affecting sentient beings, those who would for certain be deemed to have a soul. As far as animals, I would assume if you fall in line with those who argue that every living creature has a soul, it is affecting them. but I don't know how one would.
Well, if you see a whole bunch of undead squirrels, that could be, one sign.
Well, the people who die, they don't come back as undead.
Oh, well, that's good. She jots that down.
They just, the clerics have been, they don't say you are a follower of Kelvamore. After you die, one of the reasons why you practice your faith and you lead a life of example set by the tenets of Kelvamore is that when you die, your soul goes on and rests with Kelvamore. They're not making it there. They're not reaching their destination.
They're not being escorted to the final gate?
Right. They are being kidnapped between death and arrival at their appropriate final destination.
Is there any way that people know where they're going? Is there any particular traces of something, or are they just gone the minute that they leave their body?
They're gone. So spells like Revivify that happen within the first few moments after death still work, but resurrection, even 30 minutes later, it does not work because there's no soul to come back to the body. The soul is gone.
This is so wrong.
You hear a clank and a clack, and we all look back, and Paxton's just dropped his plate. And he's shivering, freaking out about that.
So if
Judson reaches out to try and comfort him, but then realizes, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't, and retreats.
So if you are going to go into the jungle, you will need a few things. First, you will need to find a guide. And I suggest finding a guide. Going to locations in the city. Going to a bar, a pub. Called where did it? Okay. Sorry. It was right here and I lost it. No, the bar that has the... Oh, I'll just look it up in my book. It's easier to find in the book.
Take a look in the book. You're muted, but your heart was there.
LeVar Burton, I love you.
Oh, have you listened to LeVar Burton reads?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. It's Reading Rainbow, but for adults. It's all I ever wanted.
I will have to
Rainbow.
look into that.
Gets me through my day.
Oh, Shadow Girl.
Definitely didn't just drop a dice.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just
There.
make up a bar name.
Let's hope it's not a D4. Those things hurt.
No, it's a D20.
Okay. So he suggests going to a local pub called the T-Rex. No.
T-Rex Rest.
Yeah, the T-Rex Rest.
Fantastic.
There are several guides who hang out there, and there's a bulletin board where they put their names on. They put their cards up if they're available to lead you into the jungle, or you can go to the fort run by the Flaming Fists. Which there's some guides based out of there, and you're going to want to go to the fort anyway to get a charter. The Flaming Fists, who are the primary force fighting the undead currently, require that you get a permit to go into the jungle, and it is, I want to say it's 50 gold to get the permit. If you do not have the permit, then if you run into one of their patrols, they are going to Fort Bellurian. I will put it in chat. I strongly suggest going and getting a permit for going into the jungle. One, anything you find you will be able to keep. And two, it will allow, if you need help, the most likely you will find is one of their patrols. And if you don't have a permit, it's going to put you on bad standing with them right off the bat.
And certainly we don't want to cause any trouble. And I look right at Quiet Quill, right?
Of course, I've never caused trouble in my life.
Maybe we can convince them to just give us a permit, since we're going in there to help them do their job.
We can certainly try, but what are these Flaming Fists like? Are they?
So you will know.
Hands-on.
You will know the Flaming Fist. They're a mercenary company out of Boulder's Gate. They are primarily Boulder's Gate's military force. They provide the law enforcement in Boulder's Gate. They guard Boulder's Gate. And when the colonization of Chult happened, Boulder's Gate was one of the was really the primary force from the Sword Coast that moved into Chult, and the Flaming Fist, obviously, is their, while it's a mercenary company, it's their de facto military, established a very large presence here. As in Port Nyan's Rue was established basically by Boulder's Gate. There was, several years ago, there was a push by the local population, the native population, and created a independent government. Boulder's Gate moved all of its forces out of Port Nyanzaru into this Fort Belurian, and that is now where they are headquartered out of. They're based out of, and they believe. So you have Port Nyanzaru, which is an open port; anybody can come, and inside the walls of Port Nyanzaru, you are safe. The undead are kept out of the walls. Port Nyanzaru has nothing to do with the rest of Chult. They do not fight the undead hordes. They don't try to get rid of it. If it does not happen within the walls, they don't care. Boulder's Gate is the primary force fighting, and the Flaming Fist is the primary force fighting the undead, which is why they require anybody traveling in the jungle to purchase the permit. Some people get upset and say, well, Boulder's Gate and the Flaming Fist have no authority to do so, and they are correct, but the Flaming Fist will point out that, hey, we're the one who have our soldiers dying as we fight this undead horde. We don't think it's that unrealistic to have every group, or that unreasonable to ask every group that goes into the jungle pay 50 gold for what we do. Especially since the local population in Port Nyanzaru want nothing to do with what happens in the jungle. Boulder's Gate is part of Lord Alliance. Lord Regalmore is here as an official representative of the Lord's Alliance. Flaming Fist, while this is where it gets political, the Flaming Fist is here representing Boulder's Gate specifically and not the Lord's Alliance. So while technically they're allies, it's separate political aspirations.
Okay. Who's the commander of the Flaming Fist?
The commander of the Flaming Fist is Lerek Dazland. Lerek Dazhland.
If you want to drop it in chat, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay. And what can you tell me of this man?
Eric. No. Lerek. And then the commander at the fort is Lyra Portier. And I will drop that in chat as well. And then I will look up what he knows of Lyric. Come on. And where did I put my book?
He disappeared. It's a spooky ghost.
Oh no, the undead of Cholt have stolen your book. They don't want us to succeed.
Wait, so who is Liara Portier?
He is the commander, or Liara Portier is at the fort. She is the commanding officer at the fort.
Okay.
And Lyric is the overall is Boulder's Gate's representative in Port Nyanzaru.
Okay.
And the Regal Moore will scowl at Lyric's name and say he is supposed to be here representing Lord's Alliance, but it is obvious in his workings as we deal with the merchant princes that he is really working for the best interests of Boulder's Gate, not the Lord's Alliance. So Lyric is a diplomat. Laura, however you, is a military commander at the fort.
I see. Well, I suppose we'll see which one's more reasonable when we get there. Well, what say you, friends? Shall we go now, or should we wait for the evening and get started in the morning?
I prefer doing most things in the evening as it is.
It is. He tells you the fort is about 14 miles away on a well-traveled path, a well-maintained road.
And what time is it now?
It's like 1 p.m.
Oh, yes, today.
Oh, we can go.
We can maybe get everything taken care of today so that we can head out into the jungle tomorrow.
That makes sense.
Yes, I want to be on this road as quickly as possible. This needs to be taken care of.
Okay. Paxton offers, as you are getting ready to head out to the fort, Paxton offers to stay behind and get your room ready so when you return tonight, everything will be orderly and put away and ready for you to retire this evening.
Yes, Paxton. Are you sure you don't want to come with us? I mean, this city's very exciting, and I'm sure you're dying to see it.
While it will break my heart to miss out on the adventure, my duty to prepare your room for tonight comes first.
Fair enough. Please don't cause any trouble. Lord Regalmore is a friend. Just behave.
Of course, my lord.
I'm sure he looks not at all devastated to have to stay here.
Yes, the look of relief is very obvious.
Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna go talk, like, sort of conference with the four of you. Should we go to the fort first, or should we find a guide? I think fort first, to get the charter, could potentially help in any
I would
dealings
have to agree.
with
Fort first.
Seems like they'll give us more trouble if we don't do it first.
Exactly.
But I'd like to try and see if I can use some influence to try and get us that for free instead of upfront paying for it.
The charter? Yes, we can obviously see if we can do anything. I did want to talk to both Larrick and Liar to see if either of them would be perhaps a little more reasonable on the price. 50 gold seems a bit high.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be more loose on this. One you have as a commander and a soldier who's following orders, and the other one who has political interests.
Well, I guess we'll see when we get there. Shall we head out? And dropped.
No.
Again.
Okay. I am not going to change any. Just wait.
It's musical nameplates.
Whose character do you go home with?
Okay. So, you make your way to the fort. Regalmore will allow you to use his carriage if you wish.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'm down for this. Carriage time.
Okay, it is pulled by a set of dinosaurs.
What kind of dinosaurs? What kind of dinosaurs?
They are, so we will say 4 small raptors.
Cool.
Oh, man.
Fine by me.
He and his driver, and you quickly make your way to the fort.
Hey,
And she is
back.
back. So
Welcome
I
back.
will move nameplates. Oh, come on. Okay. So you make it to the fort without any issues. You see as the fort comes into a view, you see it's large, a wooden palisade, stands 20 feet. There's 20 feet tall, surrounds the fort. You pull in through the guardhouse, or pull in through the gate. You're not stopped. Guards nod to the driver. They recognize the carriage. There's gardens inside, several buildings, barracks, and you see the carriage comes to a stop. The driver opens the door, and you see the main bailey with people going in and out, which stands a total of 40 feet high. And he says, he motions towards the Bailey and says, that is where you will go for the charter.
All right. I'm immediately gonna step out into what I'm sure is sweltering heat inside this fort and head straight towards the Bailey.
Okay.
I pursue.
And
I follow
you
as well.
enter the Bailey, and there is a small. You enter in a room that has a small. It's like 15 feet by 15 feet. There's a clerk standing behind a desk. She looks up as you enter. She is looking rather bored, and she says, yes, how can I help you?
Hello, young lass. My name is Cormorant Whitescale of the noble Whitescale family of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast. I am here on behest of Lord Regalmore to talk to either Lyric Dashland or Liara Portier. Are either of them available?
Alaric is not here at the fort at the moment, but I can go see if Lyra is available. Please take a seat. As you look around and notice there is no place to sit, she will go out. A few moments, a couple minutes later, she comes back, and behind her is a older woman, close to 50, you would guess, in full plate mail. She walks in, says, I am Lyra. What does Lord Regalmore wish?
Hello, Lyra. My name is Cormorant Whitescale of the Whitescale family of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast. A benefactor of mine has asked me to come and investigate some of the happenings here. Lord Regalmore has explained the death curse to me, has explained the resurgence of this mysterious and malevolent figure, whatever his name was.
Rasnisi.
Rasnisi. Could you drop that in chat so I can remember it? And my companions and I are here to obtain charter to go out and potentially see what we can do to help.
I'm just checking the spelling on Rasnisi. Yes. Okay. She takes a moment and says, follow me. And she takes you back into her office, which is sparse. Her desk, several chairs. It is a military officer's office. It says, please have a seat.
I will take a chair.
Okay, so you wish for a charter. That will be 50 gold.
Good question.
Yes.
What does the assistant in the other room look like?
I'm curious to see where this is going.
She looked half elven, maybe elven. She's a little short for an elf, but she has the classic features other than being a little shorter. Blonde hair. In her armor, it was very difficult to distinguish male, female until she spoke. She had a definite higher voice, but her features were very, and what's the word I'm looking for? And, well,
Androgynous.
androgynous, thank you. Long blonde hair, well-groomed.
Okay, instead of going into the room with everybody else, could I stay outside and flirt with her?
Okay.
That's not creepy at all. I'm sure. Scary cat demon.
No, you never know.
True, people are into freaky shit.
And,
Just because she's a little weird looking doesn't mean she's not a person.
And she's...
Yeah, don't judge elves.
She's stuck here in this fort with with a limited number of other people. Maybe she's... So...
You're exotic.
Oh, sure, exotic.
Lyra will motion you to the seat, and she said, okay, the charter is 50 gold. In addition, if you want, you can hire Flaming Fist mercenaries to travel with you.
Surely, given our friend here's position and social standing, we don't have to pay that 50 gold. That seems a bit like a formality for common folk off on adventure. We are of a higher class of adventuring party. We are incredibly skilled from various ranges, long distance and close up, and we have killed, decapitated, and punted pirates. So I feel like we could just overlook that little formality.
Okay.
That'd be a persuasion check on her part.
Yep. Give me a persuasion check.
Alright, this is gonna go real well, you guys.
Can I assist? I would like to kind of hold my hand out in front and go. What my associate here means to say is that we are looking for no recompense from you. We are here merely to do good, and you, I assume, have heard of my family. My brother was here several years ago. You should be familiar with how we stand when it comes to things of necromantic origin. It is a life goal for us to destroy them.
Okay.
Someone near a train.
So...
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's outside my... I live right by a train station, pretty much.
So you will get advantage on the...
Alright, so advantage? Okay. Please be better than what I rolled. Alright, so 15.
Okay. Everybody in the room, go ahead and give me a sense motive check.
Would that be insight?
Yes. Sorry.
You're fine.
Don't worry, I do that all the time.
21. Yeah, I did that a lot when I switched from Pathfinder to D&D 5e.
11 for me.
25 for me.
Oh.
Nice.
15.
Okay, so Cormorant and Gallowglass, you both see when she mentions beheading and punting the pirates, you see just the slightest twitch of a frown on her face before it disappears. She will look at you, quite Quill, and nod, and yes, I did know your brother. I see a little bit of the family resemblance, but
I absentmindedly touched the white
the
hair.
white hair. She nods and points. You are considerably smaller, though.
I understand that many people would potentially underestimate me because of that. And are there like windows with like shutters or anything in this room?
Yeah.
I'm going to click my fingers, and the shutters are going to slam, and then slam hard enough to bounce back open.
Okay.
Prestidigitation.
Yep. And she will smile and say, well, as a smaller statured person, I appreciate that just because one is not big and overflowing with muscles does not mean one is not skilled. She thinks for a moment and says, okay, I will grant you a charter at no cost, but instead of the standard 50% of what you find in the jungle coming to the Flaming Fist, instead it would be 60%.
That sounds perfectly amenable. I'm sure we can do that. And I kind of shoot death glares at Quiet Quill, just to make sure he keeps his mouth shut.
And would you like some guards, some Flaming Fist soldiers to accompany you?
No.
Hannah, do you have something to say on that?
I don't want to hire some soldiers to come with me. They're busy protecting the people.
We'll need a guide, but I don't believe we need guards. I think we're able to handle ourselves.
Well, there you have it. I think my associates here have made some good points. Do you have the charter here? Do we have to wait for it?
I can draw it up quick, and she pulls out a piece of paper and fills out it's there's a template there, it's all there. She just has to. And what do you guys call yourselves?
I turn and look at the three, because I assume Giotsna is still terrifying the poor girl outside.
I'm doing no such thing. I am seducing her with grace and a plume.
I don't know. What do we call ourselves? I vote for White Scale in the Funky Bunch, but
No.
you're free to turn that down.
The Unlikely Looters?
No.
No, that would give the wrong impression.
It also gets you off on the wrong.
I guess Cormorant and the Funky Bunch.
No,
we could just
no,
call ourselves the
I
solution.
can't do that.
That was definitely an out of character joke, by the way.
No, I think we should go with it.
No. Oh.
Hannah, what did you say? The solution?
The solution.
I quite like that. What say you, Gallowglass?
I can go for that.
And Quiet Quill, again, very sternly and very pointedly, like glaring daggers.
Why do you keep looking at me like that? I've done nothing.
I think you know why. We are the solution.
She smiles. Okay, the adventuring group known as The Solution. Blah, blah, blah. Able to go into the jungle. Of the artifacts they haul out of the jungle, 40% goes to them, 60% goes to the Flaming Fist. And to Yotsna.
Rewind.
Let's get
You
into
may be
this.
wondering how I've gotten at this point.
That's what the person they're flirting with is saying to themselves.
Emperor Cusco starts drawing on the screen with a red marker.
Okay. So, are they coming towards me now, or am I still just like in the room?
We
with
will
her?
we will back up and just, how it's you and her in the room. They just close the door.
Sweet. Okay. I didn't think I'd get this far. Okay, so she is going to very casually just lean against her desk. I assume she has a desk. Be like, "Hi, what's up? Like, how are you?"
She will look up and smile and just, it's just can get so boring. But anytime little Miss Lady wants something, I have to scurry off. But
oh, that's so hard. I know. She's just like, she reaches out, gently like puts her hand on her upper arm. I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy real quick. Put on what the equivalent of some smooth jazz in the background.
She will look up and look at you and take a moment and go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. Let's see, what's her persuasion?
And don't forget you have 2 divine favors.
Do I?
Whatever.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, a 6.
Use a divine reroll to try to fuck this lady.
Do you really?
Is that, explain to me what the divine favor is. I don't know
Okay,
what that is.
so for every 500 gold pieces that get donated to Castle Mac during our game, you guys get a divine reroll. I called it a divine favor. It's a divine reroll.
Okay.
Which means we have 2 of those right now, so you can use one and get a reroll.
Okay.
This, I feel, is the most appropriate use of these dice. 100%. There's no possible better use than a random.
No, not trying to save herself from death or anything. No.
Always use them for seduction. That's the
Who
only.
doesn't even have a name. This is a nameless clerk in a port.
Listen, it doesn't matter.
Her name's no Clara.
Depending
Clara.
on how well she rolls, they may have a name from now on.
I got an 11.
She will smile at you and play with her hair a little bit.
Everywhere.
Listen, I had to.
And
Can this be the point where the shutters smash open very loudly?
she jumps a little bit and she says, "So what are you doing in Chult?"
Well, I came here originally just to make some maps for some people as a commission, but then I ran into this rich guy. He offered to pay me to go adventuring with him, basically be his bodyguard, because I'm so strong. She flexes her muscles.
Roll for flex.
She will continue playing with her. Well, I can tell you that no maps of the interior of Chult exist. So if you are able to map some of the interior, you probably could sell them for a significant amount.
Maybe I could buy you a nice dinner with that money, eh? Wink. Click, click.
God.
Everywhere.
Tell me.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure I've met this guy. Or person, sorry. I think I've had this conversation.
I think we've all met this guy.
I would.
Oh my God. Arctic Nerd in the chat just said, I came here to make maps, but then I saw you, and it flipped my mind on my quest.
I should have used that line. That's perfect.
I would not be opposed to a dinner once you have indeed made your fortunes.
Oh, she needs you to have money. You gotta have that green.
$1 bills, yo.
Got a gold digger.
Oh my god.
You don't want no scrubs.
Are you only interested in my money? Not this bleeding heart?
Well,
I'm dead, legitimately.
Oh no, his soul's gone. You can't die in this game, or you die in real life.
Wait, I can't res anything yet. You can't die yet.
I just do not wish to delay you achieving your goals.
She's looking out for you, Jyotsna.
She cares.
Super supportive.
Okay. What to do now? Okay. I'm gonna take a piece of paper. I'm gonna write down some contact info.
It's
Just like smoothly slide it over. It's like, go to this bird, send me a message, hit me up.
It's like a picture of Regalmore's house drawn in colored roughly drawn in colored pencil with an arrow pointing, I am here.
Yeah, exactly.
And she says, well, I am Clara, and I can be found here. And about this time, you guys come out, and you see Jyotsna and the assistant chatting, and Jyotsna's hand is resting on her forearm, and she's playing with her hair.
I raise my eyebrow.
Quiet Cole's gonna go over and just be really awkwardly close to both of them and be like, what you doing?
I'm gonna lean a little farther on the desk. I'm gonna stick my foot out and like slowly push him away with my foot. Like, bro, be cool. Hang on. I got this.
Do you want to give her the bug ring?
Do you like bugs? Is that something you like, Claire?
Mosquitoes and bugs around here are nasty and always an issue.
Dude, she doesn't like the ring. Abort.
Okay.
Need the Claritin.
You have the big white one?
Get out of here. Go.
Oh.
Fine. Be cool.
Okay.
I approach the desk, sort of push the two of them away, and lean forward and say, terribly sorry, they're new in town. They're just very excited.
Well, and she will. You almost see the connections click in her mind on what Jyotsna has told her, and she says,
no, she's gonna recognize me as the rich guy.
The rich guy with the small wand.
Oh.
No.
It's not the size of the wand, it's how you swing it.
It's no trouble. It's always, there's so few new people here that it's always nice to meet someone new. And you are?
I am Cormorant Whitescale of the noble Whitescale family of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast. God, I'm gonna.
And you see
burn into my brain by the time this is over.
You see the dollar signs, ding, in her eyes as she.
Cormorant doesn't. I rolled a perception check and I rolled a 3.
Yes, it's really quite good to meet you. What are you doing tonight?
I'll be
Clara.
sleeping.
Gilligus burst out laughing.
I will be sleeping now in preparation for my journey tomorrow. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate that.
I'm just keeping as much distance as possible.
Quiet Quill is holding Jyotsna back.
No, wait. Hug me, Quiet Quill.
There, friend.
Like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it at all.
And after a few moments of realizing you're just not getting it, she and goes, really, Yotsna, feel free to look me up when you come back from the jungle.
Oh.
Fat chance. Bye.
Quiet Quill goes up. I, however, am desperate and single.
I told Quiet Quill back, you can do better.
You just slide the ring across the desk to her?
Yeah, it's just like, hey girl, hit me up, yo.
Her eyes light up when she sees the ring. Are you?
Can I roll a perception check on that ring?
Go ahead.
I rolled another 3. I don't notice shit.
And she's like, really?
And I grab the ring back and I'm like, no, you hurt my friend, and I walk away.
I high five Quiet Quill.
I just walk up to her, wave, because everybody else has talked to her, and just leave. Follow them out.
Okay.
Was that the whole campaign right there? Trying to seduce the clerk?
I have a good feeling about this group and how we're going to do.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god.
Bros before hoes, yo.
I can't believe she was a gold digger all along.
I look over and I'm like, what's a gold digger?
You sheltered shelter boy.
Anything else you guys wish to check out in the fort before heading?
Definitely not Clara.
I'm good.
I think Hannah would just be kind of like watching people with scrutiny, just to seeing if she picks up on, like, you know, the manner of these people and like if they seem shifty or anything with the goings on inside the fort.
Okay. Give me what's the detect motive or insight?
Insight? Okay. 19.
Okay. You see men-at-arms practicing drilling on the, so, you know, people stationed along the wall. You hear conversations about so many, you know, undead were detected over here, and they're giving landmarks. You do hear somebody saying something about, I've never seen the light. What would frost giants be doing here in the jungle?
I make note of all of this in her notebook.
Okay. Overall, you get the impression that most of the people here are just what they appear. Men-at-arms that signed up to come and fight undead, do some good, and get paid for it.
Okay.
You do see a couple of shifty-looking people, you know, that you're going to see in any, you know, hanging out in the shadows and, psst, over here, want to buy a watch type thing.
Mac, you want to buy a sundial?
But it's what you would expect in a frontier type fort.
Okay.
And you all climb into the chariot, go back into town. The trip is uneventful.
Cool. I'm going to lean out to the driver, and I'm going to say, excuse us, before we head back to the manor, would you please take us to the T-Rex Rest Hub?
Yes, of course. And let me. Oh, come on. Annihilation. So you pull up in front of this building, and the entryway is shaped like a giant skull with the mouth open, and you see the doors set deep in, what would be like in its throat. So there's stones shaped like teeth on the ground, and the walkway is textured to look like a tongue rolled out. And then, above you, the awning is like the snout. And
if only Paxton were here.
He'd be too afraid to go in.
Cormorant, on the other hand, is very excited by this. He's never seen anything like it, and he immediately walks up and starts like kind of touching the rocks and looking up at the skull. Is there anyone like right in the immediate vicinity?
There's people coming in and out of the doors. Every time the door opens, you hear the sound of music and laughter and chatter and glasses. It seems to be a very busy establishment.
Yeah. Do the clientele look, are they like, I assume they're sort of commoner, or do they look the adventuring type, or?
They look, they appear below your standards, but yes, adventurers. The rest of you, I mean, these are adventuring people that are,
So is this a nice dive bar?
Yeah, it's a
Nice.
Well,
Kind of like tourist trappy at the same time because it's like this big dinosaur skull.
And I'm totally falling into that trap. I turned back and guys, did you see this? This is amazing. And I immediately walk right in with none of you near me, which probably isn't the best idea in my very nice clothing.
okay.
Gonna watch him go. Not gonna do anything.
So you walk in, the noise hits you. There's several there's a band playing, very, very percussion based music. It's, finding a guide. As you walk in, there's lots of people. Again, you see everything from locals, very colorfully dressed, people in leather armor, people in robes, to there's a couple that are wearing full plate mail.
Okay.
Weapons of every sort.
Upon seeing the weapons, I kind of fold my hands into my sleeves where I've got one of my knives kept, but not, kind of inconspicuously. And I walk up to the bar.
And there's a large lizard man fellow behind the bar. He will look at you and step over and get what you want. What can I help you with?
Hello, my name is Cormorant, and I'm looking to hire a guide. I've heard tell that this is the place to look.
Well, it is, yes. Several of the guides hang out here. There's the board over there, or he will point out Iku over there, and you turn to see a middle-aged woman. She looks to be native, very colorful dress, dark skin, is a guide, and Farol and Gondola over there. And you look and see a human and halfling sitting at a table across the room. They're guides, and River Mist and Flask of Wine. They're up on the stage right now, playing, but they're guides as well. And there's a bunch of them listed on the board.
And I'm going to pull out 2 gold and set them lightly on the counter, kind of close to my other hand, just so it's not like very visible. And I go, "Who would you hire?"
He takes a moment and says, Iku knows the jungle, but she's an old lady. I would go with a young warrioress named Azaka, or a young gladiator by the name of Shaggle. But really, any of them is good. The only ones I would stay away from is those 2 over there, and he points at the human and halfling.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm immediately going to head back outside to the four of you, and I'm going to hand Gallowglass 2 gold, and I'm going to say, "Go in there, hand the man at the bar 2 gold, and ask him who he thinks would be the best guide. I want to see if the information he gave me is the same that he'll give you."
Okay. And she'll turn around. She'll try to look even more naive, and she'll go to the door and go to the bar and just sit down and just kind of wait to be noticed.
And eventually, he does. He's a big lizardman. He looks older. What can I do for you?
Hi. Well, I'm a cleric of Kalimvor, and I want to help with this undead situation. But I'm not from here. I'm from Waterdeep. Well, sort of, but and I need a guide. Can you recommend someone? And I just kind of very not
Obvious.
stealthy or not subtle at all. Just gonna show the gold in my hand. Just gonna show the gold, then close it up again.
He will.
And I want to notice that I'm watching him carefully, so just to see how his face is and stuff like that. See if he's BSing me.
Give me a insight check, please.
18.
Okay. You notice a look of concern come over his face. And he says, okay, be careful in the jungle. It's a dangerous place. It's really noble for you to want to take care of the undead. He looks at you and says, I think go talk to that lady over there Iku and explain what you're doing, and she may be able to help. And then take this, and he writes a note, and take this and talk to Azaka. She is who you're going to want. Azaka Stormfang. If you are going to be here for a while, I will let you know when she comes in. She usually comes in the evening or later at night.
She's okay. What does she look like? Yeah, figure out.
My plan has worked.
She is a tall lady, about 6 foot tall, and she has short cropped hair, and it has like dark and lighter stripes in the hair.
That's fancy.
She is a local. She carries a spear. I will, if you wait here, I will let you know when she comes in, or you can go find her card on the board, and that will give you where to find her, where to locate her.
Okay. Also, can you recommend like a good place to buy some supplies? I'm looking for some holy oil, or blessed oil of some sort.
So there's the Temple of Ogma. That's for that. And then there's the bazaar. Bazaar. I think it's the red bazaar that carries all of the adventuring gear and standard equipment in the player's handbook. And before you go in the jungle, I strongly suggest get a water catcher and mosquito repellent. Many visitors from the Sword Coast, the water in the jungle is bad to drink. You need to catch rain. And
Thank you so much.
You want insect repellent, because the bugs out there are horrible.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm going to probably go over, and you said that Iku is currently there, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and have a. Did he take the gold from me?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna pocket the gold and walk over and looking like I'm about to pee myself. Kind of how Galaglass is. But she's just kind of talking herself. I was like, "You can do this. You've been doing this all your life. You can get help. You can help people." And she goes over and she taps Iku on the shoulder. Said, "Hi. The barman said you'd be a good person to talk to for a guide in going into the Cholton jungles."
She will look at you, and she is an older lady, really old and wise eyes. You know how some people, you just look at them and their eyes seem older than they are. And she will say, "Yes, please, dear, sit down. Let's have a drink."
Just gotta sit down and like just.
The bartender sent you over to me, did he?
Yes,
and she
he recommended you. Wow.
She will say his name. Gary.
Gary the lizard guy?
Gary
the lizard.
Lizard man.
Lizard Gary.
Bartender. Okay. So, why do you wish a guide Why do you wish to go into the jungle? Did she freeze?
Looks like it.
Glenmore and I think
There
I
we go.
did.
Okay, there you
Am I
are.
back now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I was taught by my father to hunt and kill the undead as a cleric of Kellamvor. And when I heard about the things that were happening here in Chult, I decided that I would come help as best as I can. I Putting the dead to their final rest is what I'm best at, and to the natural order of things. I just want to help, and I think I can do some real good here.
She ponders you for several moments, and then a big smile, and the white teeth, and I think indeed you will do some good here.
Can I give my inspiration point to Glass, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
No problem.
If you weren't gonna do it, I was.
Yeah.
She took my plan and turned it into reality.
Took your plan and made it into a better one.
She
Just
interpreted
with
it.
her adorableness.
She's an awkward little turtle, but she's not stupid.
I
Good stuff.
Well, I would be happy to either join you as a guide, although first I would want to meet the rest of your companions. I assume you are not traveling into the jungle alone. That would be foolhardy.
No, I have a few companions. They're good eggs. A little rough around the edges, as some people are, especially with adventurers and all that. But they're good eggs. I like them. I have a good feeling when I just have a good feeling about them when I touch my holy symbol. I believe that I'm in with the right people. That will be able to fix this. That will
And that's the
always be
kind
able
of
to
moment. That's the kind of moment that Quiet Quill would kick the door in with perfect timing.
I still look like I'm gonna pee myself.
Cormorant, I'm starting to get the feeling you don't like me very much.
I don't know what you're talking about. You haven't stolen two things from a friend of mine.
You don't know about either of those.
Nope. But I get a feeling about you. I have a feeling you're also fingered from time to time.
What kind of read am I getting on her? Like, is she being upfront or is she? Did I already ask this? I can't remember.
So you feel she's being upfront. You get a very Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid feeling from him. Or from her.
Wax on.
Okay. Oh, I'm froze again.
Nope, you're back.
You're good.
Am I back?
Yep.
No, now you're.
Are you back?
Now you froze.
Am I back?
Now you're
I can
back.
hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Oh, okay. You could hear me? Okay. So she's like Mr. Miyagi to me. I'm getting that kind of calm power feeling, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Although she does look very frail. I mean, she's 5'4", 100 pounds, maybe, if you put some lead weights around her ankles.
Okay. Have you been out in the jungle much, or are I don't want to be to come across as rude or uncouth, but you're well, you're a little old, But I guess in this place it means that you're a survivor. If you've been out in the jungles that much, right?
She smiles again and she says, yes, well, I grew up in this jungle. I know many of the places. Gary worries about me, and he often recommends other guides like young Azaka, who he sees as more capable. I can tell you I feel very confident and safe walking through the jungle.
Okay.
But if you have concerns, there are many other good guides, and I'm sure Gary recommended Azaka to you. She is very competent and she knows her way. She is very competent, capable guide. After meeting you and talking to you, I would make some suggestions. Perhaps let's meet with the rest of your companions first.
Okay. He did recommend Azaka. Is there anything I should know about that person? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not from here. I'm not good with that carry with people. I'm very sorry. And she's been like holding on to her holy symbol, just like playing with this, like kind of like as like a worry stone. Just
she will smile and say, I can tell you Azaka has a good heart. Azaka
that's good.
Azaka is a strong young woman. She has gone through some pain, and she is searching for someone to assist her, as a matter of fact, in getting a family relic that was taken from her back. But I will not go into that, and I will let you share details of her as she wishes. It's not my place, but she is pure of heart.
Thank you. I truly appreciate your upfrontness and your honesty. I thank you. Can I buy you a drink or a meal or something for your time?
Well, if you would like to go get your companions so I can meet them, and then yes, we could share a meal or a drink, and I can discuss with all of you maybe where to go look to best aid you in the jungle. If you do not hire me as a guide, maybe I can still provide some information.
You're so kind. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go talk to my friends now, and we're gonna decide what to do. Thank you. And I get up and I go out to them. And well, he recommended someone named Iku, and I'm assuming you guys are all still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of tilt my head. Interesting. He said while she's a good guide, he recommended two others to me.
He recommended Iku and Azaka.
Izaka, that's one of the ones he recommended.
They're not there right now. Maybe you can come back later and speak to them. But I really got a good feeling about Iku. I was talking to her for a few minutes. That's why I was so long. I'm sorry. Oh, and I kept this. He never took any gold from me. I hand the 2 gold back to you.
I just kind of close your hand back over, and that's fine. I appreciate the good work.
Thank you. I put it back in my pocket, and
he's a nice rich man.
and he was telling me about them. He said Iku is great, but a little old. And Azaka I think that was his main recommendation. She's not there. I never got to talk to her, but he said that she's gonna be here tonight, and he gave me a note to give to her. But I want us to talk and to meet and talk with Iku too. She's so nice, and she gives me such a nice calm feeling, and like I feel in my heart that she's a good person. She'll help us even if we don't hire her. I have a good feeling about her, and I think that's the person that even if we don't go with her, but we definitely should talk to her. And I said I'd buy her a meal.
That's
so-
that's perfectly fine. Let's
Okay.
talk to her.
Old just means wise. And
Yes.
if you're going somewhere where the things are going to kill us, a little wisdom goes a long way.
I had that feeling. If she's here and old, it means she's a survivor. I think. Anyways, I'm not sure, but that's the feeling I get.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I say we talk to her. If there's one thing I've learned in my years of study, it's never to discount the wisdom of the elderly.
Okay.
And I
Yeah, let's
suppose
go for
that's doubly so in a rough place like this.
Okay, so you will all go
Okay,
back.
Rosie.
You all go back in, and she leads you over to Iku. She is, like I said, 5'4", 100 pounds. She looks frail. She's wearing blue. Her dress is blue, different shades of blue, very vibrant. She's carrying, or she has a walking stick leaning against the table that is carved to look like a stylized coatl, Coatl, the winged
Waddle.
guatl.
Quaddle.
It's like a winged snake.
Yep. And she stands up as you approach and holds out her hand. And you must be Gallowglass's companions.
Yes, it's Madam Iku. These are my troop, my friends.
I reach forward and I clasp her hand in both of mine and I go, "Well met, Iku. My name is Cormorant Whitescale of the Whitescale family of Neverwinter on the Sword Coast."
She will look at you and nod and say, I believe I knew your grandfather.
You did. Fantastic.
I'm gonna reach over and give her just a big hug and say thank you, thank you, Elder, for your help. We greatly appreciate it.
She smiles and pats your back. It is my pleasure to help.
Utsuna reaches out, gives her a nice handshake and a smile. Like, thank you so much for helping us.
It is, as I said, my pleasure to meet you.
Hannah kind of like pulls down her cloak. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Always a pleasure. So please sit. And Gary is bringing over drinks and food. It is rough, hearty food.
Does Gary notice me sitting with Gallowglass like that we both asked him?
Damn it.
Awkward.
He will smile and give a nod to you. Not,
I mean, he got 2 gold out of it, so you can't be complaining.
But he brings over food, stew, bread. It's a hearty fare.
I paid for it using the gold that Cormorant gave me.
And Eku will look and say, so please, tell me what your goals are here in the jungle of Chult.
I lean forward and I kind of like steeple my hands. Well, at the moment, we were told by an associate of mine of the reappearance of some malevolent beings, undead, and specifically a being known as Rasnisi.
She does a sign to ward off evil.
This creature, whatever he is, I've been told that there's been sightings of him. We are here to potentially deal with the death curse. That is our mission at the moment, and we feel that this being might be the most well at the moment he is our primary clue and suspect as the cause of this.
I would have to agree. If profound evil is happening in Chult, Rasnisi tends to be behind it.
I'm gonna copy the symbol she did. Just as sort of a show of solidarity.
Okay. I know very little. The death curse is new. We've just in the last several months have just started noticing. But I can tell you, and she thinks, and she spends several minutes again looking at each of you individually, and you feel her almost weighing you. You get the definite sense that you are being judged. And after, like I said, looking at each one, she will nod her head and move on. And at the end, she says, yes. Whoever you hire to guide you, I suggest, and Azaka is a good choice, I suggest that you go speak to the guardian of Orolunga. I will drop that. Or the Oracle of Orolunga.
What can you tell me about them?
The Oracle of Orolunga. Orolunga is an ancient city that was destroyed ages ago. But there is a powerful mystic who lives atop the central pyramid of the city, she's a powerful oracle, and she is likely your best chance to get information about she should be able to help guide you.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you could go speak to the Arakokara, however you say it. And let me get her name. In Kursabal. Chat. And leader of the community, Ashara. She is the leader of the Arakokra at Kursabal, and she may be able to guide you as well. Otherwise, depending on, you may wish to speak to a goblin shaman. Queen Grabstab.
Queen Grabstab.
Grabstab.
I love goblin names.
Yes, I know many people dismiss the goblins but she is ancient, and for a goblin to live as long as she has is a feat, especially in the jungle here. She may be able to provide guidance as well. I can tell you all three of those are going to help you. All three of those are likely to ask something in return. Just the way the mystic and oracle, they tend to work.
That's understandable, yeah.
This makes sense.
And as about this time, she will look up and say, and speaking of, here is Azaka now. And you turn and look, and a striking young woman walks in, very powerfully built. She has short cropped hair, and you see stripes go through the pattern. They appear natural, not dyed, She looks towards Gary and motions for a drink, and you see Gary motion towards the table. Iku gets a big smile on her face, and Azaka will start walking towards the table.
I get the little...
Go ahead.
I still have the piece of paper that Gary had given me about to give to her, so I just kind of have it out and ready, and I'm gonna, when she gets there, I'm gonna greet her and say hi, and of course do my usual spiel. I'm Galaglass. I was given some information about you about possibly being a guide, and Iku had recommended you as well. But I have this to give to you. I hand her whatever's on the paper.
Okay, she will read it quickly and say, well, Gary seems to be very fond of you. That is unusual. And speaks well of you. She looks momentarily lost, and it's like, okay, you are looking for a guide, and yet you sit with Iku. Hello, Iku. How are you, grandmother? And she shows reverence, not as a family, but as a, just, she calls her grandmother, but there's no family resemblance at all. And Iku hugs her and says, yes, this is Azaka. She is a dear friend of mine.
I'm going to stand and hold a hand out in greeting. Azaka, my name is Cormorant Whitescale. My compatriots and I, Galaglass included here, we are looking to hire a guide. We've been sitting with Iku as something of a, I guess you could call it a consultation, asking advice and, the likes of that.
She really is wonderful.
Exactly. She is, she's said many good things about you. She highly recommends you, and that certainly intrigues me, and I assume the rest of my party.
Well, she will turn to Iku, and Iku will smile and nod and say, I believe these shall do wonderful things for Chult. And Iku, or Azaka, raises an eyebrow, and she will then turn. So, okay, let us talk. And she will sit down and your destination.
Well, at the moment, We are unsure of the final destination. We are looking for Rasnisi, or any sign of him. And Iku here has recommended we speak to the Oracle of Orulunga, or Ashara the Arakokra, or perhaps Queen Grabstab, the goblin shaman. She seems to think that any of those three could perhaps provide us with information on where we might start our search for Rasnisi. What say you of those three choices?
Well,
and I do want to insight check this.
Okay.
On whatever she says.
Can I assist? Because I'm kind of watching her as well.
Okay. Everybody who wishes to insight, go ahead and roll.
Anna just casually pulls up her hood and doesn't make eye contact with the two of them.
Okay.
I got a 17.
She will say, well, for selfish reasons, I would say visiting the Arakocra first. But Queen Grabstab can be difficult to find, as her tribe travels often. But I feel confident I could find her. The Oracle, that is a dangerous journey. In Eku nods. I would say visit the other two first, and then, depending on what we find out or what you find out, then go speak to the Oracle.
Interesting. And I did roll a 17 on my insight check. Does that seem fairly on the level?
She appears honest. As she stated, for selfish reasons, the Arakocra is where she would hope you would go first.
Mm-hmm. This sort of like more intense air around Cormorant just kind of slides off now that he sees that these people are kind of on the level, and he goes, "Fantastic. Well, to business, I guess. What is your rate, if you don't mind me asking?"
She will smile and say, so on the way to Arakocra, we will pass a landmark called Firefinger. And Petrofolk reside at the upper areas of Firefinger, and they have stolen a family heirloom of mine, the last I have of my clan. If you would help me get that heirloom back, I shall accompany you for as long as you stay in Chult, free of charge.
I look at each of my compatriots with sort of a questing look in my eyes to see if they, if they agree to that or not.
I think we should think on it for a bit and discuss it. No offense to you, madam,
yes.
or to you, Madam Iku. I firmly believe in being sure in your choices, and I want to think on this, if possible. Unless you guys are really sure, but
if otherwise, my fee, which is a fee set by the merchant princes, this isn't me trying to be, half of it goes to the merchant princes. My fee, and any guide's fee that you will find here, is 50 gold pieces per 10 days.
I look at all of you and I go, shall we take the night to discuss it and come back tomorrow?
yes, I think that's a good idea. Yes.
Honestly, Jill's not barely paying attention. She's too busy looking at her. Then when you say something, she's like, "Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we should totally do that."
I agree with the group and smack Jyotsna upside the head.
Snaps out of it. It's like, okay, I'm all right. Sorry.
Jyotsna, were you okay? You looked a little lost there.
None of your business.
Are you feeling fine? Do you need any healing? Because I can provide that.
Do you need help? I'm sure I have something I can help you.
No, it's fine. Stop bringing attention to it. It's fine. She's like putting hand over face, looking away, but I was like peeking back. No, this.
Jyotsna, what are you doing? Why are you looking away?
Shut up. Just shut up.
Eku will.
Seems like you're avoiding eye contact with Izaka.
You guys suck.
Iku at this moment will change the subject and speak of some random. So, flowers in the jungle are quite nice this time of the year. You will definitely want to get some insect repellent, as the bugs are going crazy.
And you said a water catcher too, right?
Yes, a water catcher. You do not want to drink the water without. If you have to drink the water, you can boil it, or there are magical means to purify it. For sure, there's many diseases you can catch drinking the water, but for sure there's little parasites known as throat leeches that will sap your strength if you drink untreated water.
Oh my! Oh, wow.
Well then, how about we go and do our shopping tonight, since regardless of who we hire, we're gonna have to buy these things anyway, and then we can go home, think about it, and meet you back here in the morning with our decision.
It sounds
I
good.
think that's best. Yes.
We will meet you here. Iku says, I will meet you here, and Azaka says, yes, I will be here in the morning.
I walk over to Iku and just kind of grasp her hands and say, Madam Iku, thank you so much for your help and your recommendations and everything. You've been so wonderful. And no matter what happens, I wish you the best and everything. And may I don't know if you follow this deity, but may Kalimvor look over you and bless you. And I shake Azaka's hand as well, and I say something similar, like, you know, I wish you all the best and thank you for your time, and may Kalimvor look over you.
Then Iku will reach out and lay her hand on the side of your head and just bow her head for a few short moments. And may you do well, may you be well as well. And boons.
Did you just say boon? Galglass, are you gonna get a boon? That's awesome.
Yeah, what that is?
Oh.
They're in Xanther's Guide, isn't it? They have a list of boons.
Yeah, pretty sure that's right. That's some cool stuff right there. I think there might be some in the DM's guide as well, if I remember correctly. But those might be a little too... I think those are like sort of higher end boons.
Okay. No, there's some in here too.
Also, Jyotsna drop.
Oh, damn it. At least it's not me tonight.
Yeah.
That's true.
I have good internet now. It's not going to happen ever again.
Yeah. I was gonna say your stream is a lot more solid
Yeah,
than it was.
It's true too.
Yeah, I got that city internet.
Yay! Welcome back.
Back, Chiotsna. You seemed to blank out there for a second while you were staring at her face.
All the blood ran from her head.
Okay.
At Izaka's face. There we go.
I will. She grants you a boon. I will find it and email what it is. I'm not going to waste time.
Yay! Thank you. Yay!
That's some cool stuff right there. And definitely not to piggyback off what Galaglass did just there, but I also walk up to both of them, shake both of their hands, and I go, may the shining light bless both of you.
They respond. So what time is it Eastern? 9, 10?
11.
It's 11 o'clock.
Do you guys want to keep going, or we've been playing for 3.5 hours?
I think right now is actually a good stopping point. We'll start our discussion in the next game.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can start the pre-game with shopping, and then we can go into
Yep.
like
So-
our discussion.
Everybody level up to level 2.
Woo! It's because of that dinosaur race.
I get to pick a thing.
And we will go around the table, say anything you want, what you liked, what you didn't like.
Position on the table I am.
Okay, we'll start with Cormorant. We'll go around so Cormorant, Gallowglass, Hannah, Yotsna, and Quiet Quill in that order. So Cormorant, go ahead and start.
Sounds good. So I think today went really well overall. I'm a little annoyed I didn't win the dinosaur race, but it's whatever. Crazy, 7 nat 20s for a thing
That was wild.
Yeah.
That's
for a
super
thing that
wild.
didn't even matter. And I think the MVP of today is Gallowglass for sure.
Woo, woo.
Oh,
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
Your RP was on point to another level. Well done.
I'm good at playing awkward, so.
All right. Who's next?
Go ahead.
Me, I think.
Yep.
Oh, me? Okay.
No, Gallowglass, go ahead.
Oh, down there? Okay. I'm so confused with where all the squares have moved to.
I've had an awesome time. I've gotten into Gallowglass's head, so I was struggling with her a little bit. So no, I'm really pleased, and I'm loving the various types of RP we got tonight, like the dinosaur races and just hitting on that poor Clara.
Poor Clara, poor Josna.
that heap of awkwardness. Plus, just quiet, Quill. What are you doing? I'm gonna get us all killed.
I'm being me, okay? I'm being me.
So I really love tonight. It's nice to get a feeling for the other characters and for my own as well. So I've had a blast.
Now go ahead, Hannah.
Okay, cool. No, I love tonight. I thought the dinosaur race was a really interesting mechanic, and it was really fun. And I'm actually happy with how it turned out, because then the person like lagging behind just like sped past all of us at the end.
Tiny dinosaur legs.
Yeah, tiny little dinosaur legs flipping through. And if anyone who's watching this isn't in the Castle Mac Discord, they should go, because I've been doodling stuff from the show and throwing it in there. So you guys should all go join that. But but Gallowglass for RP on point.
Thank you.
And Yotsna.
I thought the entire thing was great, my Wi-Fi issues aside. Constant games and musical name tags. But yeah, I really enjoyed the race. I thought it was really creative. I loved what Gallowglass was doing, even though I missed a couple of times of it, I think. I didn't expect to go anywhere with the flirting thing, but that was a fun time.
That was awesome.
And I like how the Wi-Fi cut out, matching what I was doing of just the gay panic and silence. Really also, I love Quiet Quill, just being Quiet Quill.
Thanks, babe. Love you. Heart.
Arts.
And Quiet Quill.
The dinosaur race is fun just because, I mean, it's the equivalent of a corgi beating an ostrich at, like, a race.
Basically,
And I'm just thrilled with that mental imagery.
if the ostrich could eat the corgi.
That's fair. And I know Gallowglass did amazing. Cormorant was really, like, stepped up as sort of a leader of the group tonight to, like, get shit done, and I really appreciated that. Because sometimes you need that voice asking the right questions, and not everyone's going to be that voice, so I appreciate that a lot. And Abby, Gay Panic, Alan is my best friend, so that was funny. I always appreciate a good flirt.
You can tell I've never flirted before.
Oh yeah, no, you're dreadfully horrible. Work on it.
Hey, person at your job, you come here often?
Before I forget, write down that ring you got.
Yeah, I got it written down.
And just make a note that it protects you against insect repellent.
Sweet.
Yeah, I figured.
And I almost gave that shit away.
First magic item. First magic item. That you definitely
Unlawfully taken.
I looked forward to the dinosaur races. I really wanted to try the dinosaur races, and so I put one of the main reasons I put Regalmore in is because he was going to be this gambler who would get you. In order to meet him, you would have to go to the dinosaur races, and as long as you're there, and he's going to push you to bet on the dinosaur races. So we got to play the dinosaur races. I would like to work on the mechanics of the dinosaur races a little bit, but they were enjoyable. And I don't know if there was a math error in allowing the corgi to win, but it worked out perfectly. So
Totally. I think it was a really good idea.
yeah, I like it, and I think it really adds to the flavor of Port Nyanzaru. You know, this exotic, wild, you know, that whole dinosaur races. Who would have thought, you know, and the people just going and knowing, okay, so I might be a snack for a dinosaur, but it's just so fun. I have to go watch.
The people who run with the bulls.
Right. The group is starting to come together as people play, you know, as you play your character and get to know your character and get to know everybody else's character. I like where this is going. I try not to push Iku and Azaka too strongly. In my opinion, they're the guides to have, or, you know, one of them too. And while you haven't chosen yet, you know, but I like where this is going. So it was a good night. Again, I would like to thank Castle Mac for letting us play.
Mm-hmm.
It's an awesome community. As he said, join the Discord. I turn the Discord off. I turn Discord off while we play so I don't get distracted. So I am looking forward to going into Discord and seeing the drawings as well. Definitely join the Discord. The music, again, you can find a link to the music I've played. Hopefully the volume was right and you guys could hear it at the Bandcamp link underneath below. And this has been a lot of fun. I look forward to playing in 2 weeks. Next Wednesday is Wily Hobbit's game. Didn't hear the music. Okay, sorry, it's too low. I will remember to turn it up. I'm trying to find a nice setting where they can hear it, but they can still hear us. Wily Mac game is next week. Wednesday I think his starts at 8 Eastern. We should probably talk and figure, you know, do we just want to start at 8 Eastern too, moving forward?
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
I'd be
that
fine
works for
with
me.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine for me.
Okay, so
Actually get a little time to cook dinner.
Yeah.
from now on, us and Wiley Max game, whichever Wednesday, will start at 8 Eastern. They have Castle Mac has games on Sunday, right? I should know this.
Sundays and Tuesdays for sure.
Tuesdays and Sundays.
Right. And then they sometimes play on Saturday. Their games are amazing. I love watching their Castle Mac. One of the reasons why I got involved and why I am so glad to play on his channel. Their games are they remind me of the group I grew up playing in, and just their interaction and their excitement. They're a great group of people. You want to check out their streams. I think that's everything I got to say. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you all for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the bits. Wiley, remember we got one divine reroll for next Wednesday that we didn't use tonight. And that's it. See everybody later.
Bye.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.
Thank
There's so
you.
many spells
Love you
I have to
all.
choose from, guys.